show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings, and of course to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at hivemindcrm.io.
I like it, just picking up the phone and just talking to people and just having a conversation about, buying their property. And so it's been working well for me. So I think, continue to do that and add some other things, I'm trying to, it is time consuming. So, automation is definitely something that, I'm trying to work in right now too. So, so Anthony, the young guy that you met the other night, he's working on that for me. He's doing the integration part.
I think every good team has a front end person and then like a back end integrator, like more tech type person.
Yeah, it helps because you can't do everything. You could learn it, but it would be very time consuming. So leave it to the folks who know that better.
Yeah, I think some people's brain just works different in that regard. Like me, I can get on the phone, I can do some magical stuff, but back end systems, portals, and all these chat bots and all that, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy thinking about it. I know I can sit down with a notebook paper and make myself do it. I just don't enjoy it at all. It's just very, very painful for me. So sometimes I feel like I just won't even do it at all if I had to just do it by myself. So that's why having somebody in your corner that is better at it, or somebody that loves to do it more than you do, super easy. And me, give me a phone. I'll be, as soon as somebody gets a warm lead on the phone, I'm like, give me the phone. I'll get on there. I'll talk to them. So yeah, I really do enjoy talking to people and connecting with people and talking to a bunch of these sellers that have like these larger ranches, in the thousands of acres. These people are really cool. They're really, really nice, very, very mild mannered, intelligent. They have great stories, great insight. So I really like having these high level conversations, and I talk to anybody, but I'm just saying it's pretty interesting when you talk to somebody who, this lady, she wants 10 million for a little ranch over by Houston, and she doesn't want the money. She's like, I'll trade into something over by New Braunfels. She was like, but I don't want to cash out because I don't want to pay the IRS for nothing. I'll rather just leave my money sitting there and let it appreciate. So I've met quite a few people like that now that they don't necessarily need the money. So they're just not in a hurry to sell no matter what number you offer them. They're just like, I'm good. So pretty interesting to talk to those types of people and where they are in life. Like it was, she wants 10 million. We offered, or somebody offered, I found a buyer that was like at 9.1 or 9.2. And she said, no, thanks.
Wow.
Doesn't need $9 million.
Well, that's great that you're making those connections though, and talking to people, and that's having that communication. That's really key. So yeah, that's great. I think that's why you do so well in doing this. That's what I like too. I like that, just connecting with people. And I still actually talk to a lot of people that I've done deals with, with buyers. And in fact, one of them, a lady that one of my first properties that I flipped, we're actually really good friends, and she's going to partner with me, and I'm kind of showing her some of the ropes, and she's going to take a county that she knows really well. And so I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, a lot of good coming out of, the relationships that we build with people, around us. So all good stuff.
Yeah, even like you said on the seller side, I'm friends with quite a few sellers that I've worked with in the past, and now they send me new leads. One of the guys in our team, he had somebody, I forgot who it was, I think by Tyler, Texas, but I think he even joined HiveMind. He was looking at it. And this is one of the property sellers. So once they find out what we're doing, they become very interested. Another thing, and you got to be careful with like SEC fundraising laws, that type of stuff, because some of these, of course, sellers aren't accredited investors, but I've noticed that a lot of times these sellers, they don't even know what to do with the cash after they sell the property, right? So they're not experts at handling or managing money. So a lot of times they'll just hand the cash right back to you, or a good bulk of it to invest into other deals. So always looking for new capital sources. And sometimes the sellers are the ones that say, hey, yeah, honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with the money. Like, can you help me? Like, you're in the business, like, you help me.
Yeah, that's awesome, Anthony. Really good.
So welcome everybody. This is our normal weekly call. We have a Monday call, 5 Central Time, and a Thursday call, 7 Central Time. These calls are kind of open forum. Every now and then we'll have a guest speaker. We'll have some people come on and just chat with interesting people that we've met that are in cool niches or doing amazing things. But for the most part, it's just like a town hall. We just come together and talk and see what's working for people, what's not working. So this is the time for you to bring up any kind of like challenges and, if you need advice on something, if you have a deal you wanted to cut into so we can take a look at it, we can kind of use these calls for whatever benefits everybody in the room. So if anybody has anything they want to cover, you kind of just unmute yourself. There's no lightning round where we'll call on you. You can just unmute yourself and then just, kind of chime in as you see fit. So just anybody feel free to jump in and let us know what you're up to and how we can help. Anybody have any wins for last week or over the weekend? Anything amazing happened? Any interesting deals you're working on? Wins. We're looking for wins. Winner. I have one. We're going to go walk it tomorrow. It's 346 acres. It's a hunting ranch, high fenced, tons of animals there. Should be a really, really nice place. So we're going to drive out about 8:30 in the morning. We're going to drive out there, go check out the ranch. We negotiated less than 10% down with the seller, and then no payments, no interest for 12 months. So just with our down payment, then we're going to go in there and do our best to get it sold. So I've been negotiating more and more of those, at least pitching it more and more, is where we just give them a significant down and then no payments, no interest for a very long time. One of them I'm working on right now is going to be no payments, no interest for 18 months. So then that gives me a year and a half to sell the property. And what we're looking at is these bigger properties, these larger properties, they'll pay themselves off, right? So if the property's worth, let's say $2 million, we pick it up for 1.2, 1.5. Then by us taking the time with it, we can turn around and resell it where the proceeds from the sale come out of the property itself. So these deals are kind of self-funding. Pretty interesting concept that we've been working on and running with, and it's been working phenomenally. So that's why I really like going after the larger tracts, not just because it sounds cool, right, and the profits are higher, but because instead of me having to find an outside source of capital like a lender or a bank, the dirt's going to pay for its own self. So we just pay the initial deposit, like $100 up front, which I'll probably grab from a third party anyway. And then the rest of the money to pay off the seller comes out of the actual property. So pretty interesting concept that allows you to go further faster with having less out of your pocket or nothing out of your pocket. And then we never have to talk to a bank to ask them for a loan or to help us with anything because of the sellers being the bank. And at 0% interest for a year and a half, you can't be too mad at that because you have to imagine that you can ride that appraisal, right? You can ride the appreciation on the property for a year and a half at 0% interest. So pretty interesting concept, pretty cool. I think what we're doing is pretty neat, and especially on a large scale. Anybody have anything they'd like to share? Any kind of challenges you're coming across? Something that we could help you with?
Anthony, I actually have two commercial lots that I need sold in Georgia. And this would be my very first deal. So I'm looking for somebody to joint venture and walk me through the process. I've been doing my research on getting the comps, but I just would really I would love to joint venture with somebody that's experienced and more than happy to split the earnings with somebody. But I think for me, I just want somebody to walk me through the process. And of course, for doing that, I definitely want to split the proceeds with somebody. So if anybody's interested, please inbox me. I'm on Facebook in the Hive Mind.
Hey, you said you had these under contract already?
I have not put them on contract. It's actually a personal friend. And she's just holding on to the property. There's a lot of questions that I have for my first steps, before I move. But yeah, no, it's not under contract. I can get it under contract.
Okay. Yeah. I think everybody needs to get really, really good at comps because that's going to I think by the time you know what the properties are worth and you can identify that quickly, then you can see what a deal is and what's not pretty quick. And I know commercial adds another layer on top. So commercial is kind of goofy. I don't know that it's something that you can learn in a few minutes just because there's a lot of variables. But yeah, I think doing a lot of work and getting good at comps will make you go really fast in this business. Like you can imagine, I'm looking at deals all day long. People are sending me addresses, sending me properties, sending me stuff to look at. So I got to be able to make a decision, within seconds, or else I'll just spend my entire day just, running numbers and checking things out. And then you can kind of feel it. I'll see a deal come in, especially in Texas. I'll see a deal come in, and I can see within like 10 seconds if it's a deal or not. So yeah, getting good at comps is super, super important to this business, or else you'll always struggle. Whenever I get something in Georgia, I usually go to Junior Lee. He's pretty seasoned. He has a lot of buyers. He's worked in a lot of areas. But if you message me or start a messenger thread on Facebook with S3, I'll chime in and see if I can help best with it.
Okay. Yeah. They're both. I know one property is just right outside of Atlanta. It's like 30 minutes outside of the heart of Atlanta, which is a nice area. The other one I'm not so sure of. It's like a college town area, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. So they're both infill lots. They're both wooded lots. So, but yeah, I will definitely reach out to Junior and you both as well. So thank you.
Perfect. You're super welcome. Yeah, I like commercial. I'm still learning it right now. I've been actually looking at a lot of commercial lately. 2 100-acre tracts in San Antonio off the major highways that I've been messing with. I walked one of them last week, and I'm looking to walk another one with a seller this week. So yeah, I'm really, really focused on commercial right now just because I want to get better at it. And it's funny too, because some of these lots I've been staring at for like a year and a half, trying to see how I can make it work. And then finally, after a year and just learning more strategies and different things, now I can kind of see a deal. At first, I didn't think they were deals. And then now knowing everything I've learned over the last year and a half, now I'm revisiting some of the same lots that I passed on before, just because I didn't know what to do with them, or I didn't have the confidence to take them down or to visit with the sellers. But yeah, now I'm really, really excited to take a look at a lot of these larger commercial lots, because I do have quite a few exit strategies in mind and a couple of different ways that we can get them funded and that kind of stuff. So yeah, loving some commercial right now. I like I prefer farm and ranch, outskirts, unrestricted. I think that's something that everybody should go after, even if you are doing infill lots. Just because that outskirts land, that stuff that nobody's taking care of or nobody loves. People will all but give it to you. Like literally, I had a girl come into my office and she signed over the property to me with zero. I gave her $1,000, but she gave me full control and ownership of the property for that cash. And I could have taken advantage, right? Obviously I didn't, but literally gave me the property. And I called my attorney and I told him what was going on. And he's like, you better have her read something. So he sent me a document for her to read and then videotape her while she's giving me the property, saying, hey, I'm of my right mind and all that stuff. So I encourage everybody to be going after outskirts land, because sometimes it's free. And then you can take one of the strategies that we're using and have the land pay for itself. You take a piece and give the rest to the seller for whatever they were looking for in the beginning. Sometimes they just need a little bit of help. Sometimes they just need a little bit of cash in their pocket. Sometimes they don't have the money or the energy or the time to clean up the property, trash it out, cut the grass, fix the fence, those kinds of things. So when I come in there, I'm trying to figure out what exactly does this person need so that we can work together on this property. So some of the things we're working on right now too. I'm always trying to partner with the seller, I think, right? We're coming in with a creative finance strategy. I know a lot of the buzzword going around right now in real estate is like the novations. So you come in, you put in the work into the property, and then you sell it kind of as a JV with the seller. I've been doing that since I started, and I haven't done an official novation, but I've been partnering with sellers left and right. That's a way that we take over properties pretty quick, right? See what they need. How can I help? Sign this, sign that. Now I'm in control of the property, and I can do whatever I need to do with it to get it moved. So I think that's why it's super important to focus on marketing. That's all I think about, is how can I get in front of more property sellers? Everything else is secondary. Learning all the strategies, building out all the automations, even finding the funding, that kind of stuff is all secondary. But I recommend that you get yourself into as many negotiations as you can as possible in a short amount of time as possible. And that's how you get really good at this business really fast.
Thanks, Anthony. That helps a lot.
You're super welcome. Yeah, happy to take a look at those lots and see what we can do with them. I think the magic sauce is within 1 hour of a major city. So it's just right outside of Atlanta, commercial. It should be pretty good.
All right. I'll make sure to message you and Junior.
Awesome. I appreciate it. What's everybody doing for marketing right now? Is there a general consensus in here? What's everybody doing? Texting or calling or mailers? Or curious what everybody else is doing. I do a lot of pay per click. I think that's my preferred method of marketing. But I see everybody getting a lot of deals with texting.
Texting.
It's still working real good for you, man, huh?
Definitely working.
Yeah, I see a lot of. I've been watching some of these text campaigns for the last few, I guess, months now, and it's a lot of like, "Hey, leave me alone, call my phone." So, I'm just curious, what areas are you hitting, or what markets? What seems to be working for you? Like, what do you think what sets up a good text campaign versus a bad text campaign?
I think aggressive is 4. I like to have like 4 going out. Like if they don't respond, they at least get 4. I'm not trying to be that aggressive, maybe 3. Like go out if they don't respond. And then it doesn't really matter either or. Because those are the initial campaigns. I mean, we hit them at least 10 to 15 times, after that. So
do you find that helps? Like even if they don't respond at all, you just keep hitting them until they do respond?
Yeah, several deals that way. Even if they didn't respond, we just keep hitting them. Yep.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, yeah, I don't think we've even gone that far. That's pretty cool, man. That's good insight right there. Yeah, you're gonna talk to me one way or another.
Yeah, people are ready at different times.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna tell the guys to add that immediately. Yeah, just if they don't respond at all, just hit them once a day for the 4 days in a row.
The 4 messages go out automatically, like over the course of Monday, Wednesday, and then back. So Monday, Wednesday, back to Monday for 4 messages. So throughout the week, and then even if they don't get back to us within like that week or those days, we're gonna keep hitting them like every other day until we get a response.
That's what it is then too, man. I think just being, like you said, being aggressive, I think, because if it's just passive, they see the message or they want to text back, they planned on it, they just didn't get around to it, so they just kind of left it on red. And then you hit them again, hit them again, hit them again. Okay, fine, yes, I'll sell. You know what I noticed too? I think the delivery, like if you hit them once, whether it gets delivered or not, whether they saw it or not, I feel like the second time you hit them, they tend to respond more. I don't know if maybe it gets delivered better on the second shot, because we did one where it had the initial text and then it had a follow-up text like a week later, like, "Hey, did you get my message?" And it felt like a lot of the responses I saw were like, "What message?" So I'm like, why do they keep saying that if they can clearly look into the phone and see that they did get a text message before? Like, I'm wondering maybe if it didn't get delivered at all.
If I could talk about that real quickly, has anybody tried text messages in different language? For example, there's an area that I want to hit that's predominantly Vietnamese, and I'm thinking about maybe sending out text messages, in their native language. Has anybody tried that out?
I have not heard of anybody doing that, but that's actually brilliant. Yeah, we might even take all the people that don't respond after we follow up with them 2 or 3 or 4 times, and start hitting them with a couple of different languages just to go ahead and squeeze that list as hard as it's going to squeeze. Because I have had that before too. When somebody fills out a form or something on the website, they will we'll text them and they'll say, "Hey, we want to talk to you about the property you have," and they're like, "Do you guys have anybody that speaks Spanish?" Or something like that. So I have come across that. That's interesting.
Well, I'm gonna try it out. Let you know how it goes.
Awesome, man. Yeah, let me know when you're planning out that campaign. I'd like to take a little bit closer look at it, see if I can help somehow.
We'll definitely do.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Hey, Anthony.
What's going on, bud?
Hey, how you doing, man? My name is Steve Molina here in San Antonio. I just signed up today. Have the onboarding Zoom call tomorrow at 11. Man, I'm kind of new to texting. Just basically been doing door knocking in the past. So excited to get this thing going. What can I look forward to as far as onboarding?
With customer service, that's what you're talking about, right? The onboarding process?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a general walkthrough of the system, how to use it. I think it's a lot to grasp in one phone call because the system's pretty complex. But they're just going to kind of just show you everything, what it does. So it's better if you watch a couple of YouTube videos before you go to the onboarding call. That way you might show up with some good questions, because they're just going to kind of give you a quick walkthrough of everything. And then you're just going to be confused when you hop off. And then you're going to have to kind of bump your head a couple of times before you realize, like, hey, you know what? I need help with this or that. But if you're in San Antonio, man, you're in luck. So there's a local office downtown. You can just come by the office and see what everybody's doing in person, how they're using it, get your questions answered, that kind of stuff. So I would definitely encourage you to watch the video, go to the onboarding, and then try to go by the office at least 1 or 2 days to see what everybody else is doing. And if you're in this area, man, I'm going to encourage you to go after large land tracts. So if you have any big deals that you want to take a look at, I'll hop in a truck and head out with you. Go check them out.
All right. And I guess Daniel just put a link on there, right? Did I see that correctly?
Yeah, that's to book the meeting.
Yeah.
Onboarding.
This is your
Yeah, I put the training videos.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Look forward to working with y'all.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the team. And then one thing I'll warn you about, man, is you don't have to set it up. You don't have to spend weeks setting it up to use it. I mean, the day we launched, I started using it immediately the same day. So I didn't set up anything. I didn't know how to set up anything. You don't need it. As long as you set up your mailer and you know how to text and call out of the system. Every time you make a contact, update your notes, right? So it's super easy. I've been working with a lot of people now in the office, like hands-on. So they'll come in and they'll say, hey, I have this deal. And I'm like, let me see it. So I can see their notes. I can listen to the call. I can see all the interaction on the text messages. So I can get up to speed on that lead in like under 60 seconds. And then I know which ones are hot based on how the conversation went. I'm like, hey, get that guy on the phone right now. And they were like, do you need some more information? I'm like, nope, get him on the phone. I already know this one's a good one. So having excellent notes, having excellent follow-up, and having everything inside of your system is super, super important. That way, when you do need to bring a third party in to help you close it, then everything's right there in front of you. But yeah, don't get overwhelmed. Keep it super, super simple and basic. And then, we'll close a lot of business together.
I would say build upon it gradually. So perfect example, this is Matt Rogers. He just needed to know how to text. He picked up a hot deal in 4 days using texting. That's all he does. And even to this day, all he does is text. So it's been like 6-7 months now, and all he does is text strictly 100%. So you don't have to overcomplicate it by trying to do everything that it can do. Just know what you need to do in it, and that's it.
And okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
For what do you door knock for? Is it just stress, or are you driving for dollars? What do you look for in your door knock?
This was a few years ago, man. I just got laid off from the oil field. But when I was doing it part-time, I was doing pre-foreclosures, knocking on 25 to 30 doors a day, 3 to 4 days out of the week when I was laid off at one time. And most of the people weren't in the house, or if they were, they wouldn't answer the door. And when they did answer the door, they owed too much, or their repairs were beyond what made it a good deal.
So if you're doing door knocking, just make sure you're targeted door knocking. We have a couple of door knockers that work with us, and they're really, really heavily targeted door knocking. So they're not making sure they're not. So it's very, very targeted what they do. So they're not out there for too long, for too much time, for too many days. So make sure you're targeting your list really well, and they're really, really have a lot of underlying issues that you're going to address just by door knocking.
Yeah, I've door knocked before for pre-foreclosures. I'm in the DFW market. I'm not seeing that much pre-foreclosures or REO properties. What about everybody else? Are you guys seeing any foreclosures coming up or any REO properties in your area?
There's about 258 for the San Antonio, the Bexar County foreclosure tomorrow. So yeah, it's very low numbers compared to previous years.
And for the season, Hive Mind members, do you guys foresee a big foreclosure coming up? And what is your strategy to get them before they hit the auction block?
Yeah, man, I think it's going to get, I think we're going to get flooded with them. Honestly, it might not come all at once. It's going to be scattered, but right now people not wanting to go back to work, not able to go back to work. And then everything's skyrocketing, man. Absolutely everything. Construction materials, food, gas, things are going up 2x right now. So if they were already behind, I think a lot of people are going to have problems, trying to refi out of stuff, especially if they've lost their jobs. So I think we're going to see a steady drip. My preferred method to pick up houses is sub-2. I kind of don't look at anything else, or I look for something creative. If they are behind on something, let's say they're behind on taxes, they're behind on their mortgage. If it's not exactly in foreclosure yet, like they don't have like a $30,000 reinstatement, but they're behind $12,000 or $15,000. We'll pick those up all day, because you can buy it subject to any burden, right? So if it has a big tax lien, or if it's really behind on payments, you don't have to satisfy anything from the moment you take the keys. You could just buy the house subject to the debt, right? Or the pending debt or foreclosure. That's what I try to do. I'll come in and let's say they owed 20 in taxes, but they owed 10 on the mortgage or 20 on the mortgage. If we can give them $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever the number is, for them to hand me the keys and the property, then I'll satisfy the debt later. I've even sold the properties before satisfying the debt, right? So I'll pick it up with a $40,000 tax lien and then just immediately turn around and find a buyer and let them pay the tax lien and just pay me for the property. So as long as you disclose all that stuff, the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. You can also use that as a strategy as well. I don't think a lot of people are thinking about that. You know, they think they need to satisfy the debt first before you sell it, but it's not always necessary. But yeah, sub 2 for me. So if anybody has any sub 2 properties in Texas, call me. I'll take those all day, and I'll get you a good finder's fee or partner with you on the deal if it's juicy enough.
Real quickly on that subject too, when you meet with a seller, I know you're going to talk about this in the Hive University, but what do you tell them when they tell you, when you're going to be able to pay off the house? Because technically, if their debt to income ratio is high, they're not going to be able to buy another house. So how do you pass that objection of, hey, I'm going to finance this house until I get it paid off? Or what do you tell them if you don't mind sharing that with us?
Actually, they can buy another house, even though they have one that they subject to, because since they're not the ones carrying the payment, then their debt to income is not affected. And I don't know exactly the technical, sides of it and all that. So I'm probably not the best one to explain it, but they can buy another property, for one. And then for two, I just try to do it a short term. So a lot of people, they'll try to buy like a sub 2. Let's say there's 20 years left on the mortgage. They try to get it locked up for 20 years, and that's a huge commitment in a person's mind to say, hey, I'm going to let you make my mortgage payment for 20 years. I don't even know if I like you for 20 years. I don't even know if I'm going to like you for the next 6 months. So what I do on these properties is I'll get them locked up and then I'll give myself a balloon on it. Right. So I'll say, hey, I'll take it over sub 2 and I'll refi out in 5 years or something. I'll either pay you off in full or I'll just jump out of the property. So that's another thing that I do. I think it's very unorthodox. I don't hear a lot of investors talk about. But yeah, I'll give myself very short balloons, 24 months, 36 months, if it's not something that I'm going to hang on to. So just less commitment for them.
Okay, thank you.
Hey guys, anybody else have anything you want to cover? Any other questions? If not, I think we'll end this call early. We got about 30 minutes left, but if we don't have anything to cover, we can get out of here a little early today.
Hey, Anthony, I need some advice on something from anybody who's experienced going through evicting tenants. Any experience, anyone? Any tips?
I got some. I did one. I had to evict a tenant. I did cash for keys. I ended up doing like I did an agreement because it was ended up being family that I evicted out of his house. So he didn't want to deal with this. I had him some paperwork that I was the landlord. I took it to court and everything. Went through the whole eviction process in court, and then I got the deal to the closing table, and then it fell apart. So that's my deal. That's my deal with evicting tenants. But you can do cash for keys, or go through the whole eviction process. Depends on the state. But it could be annoying. Usually the easiest thing if there's room for it to do is cash for keys. 100%.
What state are you trying to evict them at?
Florida.
Yeah, I can't help you there. But here in Texas, make sure that you either send them a certified letter. Make sure you either post the letter inside their door for your victim, or you hand deliver it. I usually take a video or a picture when I hand deliver an eviction letter. That way, when I'm at the eviction court, I have my proof with me. And just make sure you got everything ready when you meet the judge. Here in Texas, it's super easy to evict someone as long as you have your right paperwork. If there's spousal abuse, if they're in the military, and I got one that got delayed because the lady was pregnant. That's the only time that I've got people. Though the lady pregnant, the judge gave her 2 months to move out. But here in Texas, it's pretty easy.
Cash for keys is the easiest thing to do if they agree to leave, but going through the eviction process is never fun.
Yeah, I would just say, for one, you have to post notice on the door no matter what. You can't skip any steps. Photo document, video document, everything. Take pictures of the posted notice. You may have to evict every person in the house, but you can start with the person that's in charge or the main person that's supposed to be there. That could get hairy later for different reasons. But yeah, just go ahead and make sure you post that on the door. And get noticed right away. You have to, you can't skip any steps in the process is the main thing, because and if not, it'll get kicked out of court and then you have to start back at square one again if you did something incorrectly.
Oh, that's good to know. Good to know.
I got a question. I want to know if anybody's had luck with those one-time MLS listing services. See a lot of them popping up, and I want to know if anybody got experience with them, good or bad.
You mean like where you just pay a fee to list on MLS?
Pretty much. It's like a one-time thing. I see it for $129, and you get it on MLS for 3 months.
Yeah, I've used Listing Spark a few times. It's like $7 a day. It's like $50 or it's like $200 to set up, and then $7 a day. Knowing what I know now, I'm just going to use agents from now on. Just taking all those phone calls and showing the property. That's its own job. So if I can get that done for 3%, I'm gonna let them have it. But yeah, they work well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, see, so I've used it. I used flat fee a couple times. All of them are different. Believe it or not, there's several flat fee services. If you type in flat fee on Google, you're gonna see like flat fee. You're gonna see List with Freedom. You're gonna see a bunch of those guys. Like it's a market for it. I was using a flat fee service that allowed you to list it without even without the owner's consent. As long as you had the contract assignable, it was fine. But they started cracking down, and now they're trying to. I think it's they want the sellers to know that it is going to be on the market now. But it's just one sheet of paper they need filled out, and it's really not that difficult. So I know a buddy of mine that's still doing flat fees. He just adds the one sheet of paper to the contract when he sends them, and sometimes he doesn't even flat fee them. He just does that as an extra strategy. Like, hey, worst case scenario, flat fee it, get it over with. But yeah, so I've done that a couple of times, sold a lot of deals. It definitely works. But like Anthony said, you're going to be the one taking the phone calls, the emails. If it's a house, if you don't have a lockbox or have some type of system set up, then you're going to be the one doing the showings and stuff like that. If it's land, you can just say, hey, go look at it yourself. Let me know what you think, unless it's like huge amount of acres where you need to walk them. But yeah, I've used flat fee services a couple of times. I'm actually about to use it again, but list the property on there this week.
Okay, cool. I think I'll try it out. Just want to get feedback on it. Thanks.
Hey, what's everybody doing for dispo? That's something that I guess I've not used to struggle with, just something I didn't have much experience in, and I feel like I'm getting a lot better at it. But does anybody have any key dispo strategies they're using? I know DeAndre, they'll build up their buyers list first, like with builders and all that, and then you can crush it that way. But everybody else, what's everybody else doing for that?
There's this company called Progressive that is represented by a couple agents, including Open Door, that they buy properties, sometimes even higher than asking price. And their strategies, they're renting them out. I don't know if you guys are familiar with American Buys Homes back in the day. That's pretty much what they're doing now. And as long as it meets their criteria, they send you a buying box of zip codes and cities. And as long as it meets their criteria, you can pitch it to them. They do a walkthrough and they close right away, pay all the closing costs, their title company. Now, they're not very fond of wholesalers. So you're going to have to add your fee like a lien or and you have to talk to the seller regarding that. So we do what's called net listing here. But if you're interested, I can forward you their buying box.
Yeah, sure, man. That'd be awesome. I don't do a whole lot of houses, but I come across them. Maybe I need to start passing over them as well, if there's an easy way to dispo them.
I got a question.
Yeah, how's it going?
I am doing great. Well, I think I'm doing great anyway. My question is, it's a slow process, but it's great, and I'm learning, so it's good for me. I don't know if that person is still on the line, and you recommend that he come by the office, and I would say to him, if he's listening, yeah, go by the office. There are a great bunch of us in the Hive that help sincerely, and that's why I feel like I'm doing great. I am doing great because I'm always going to say things that are positive. My question, though, is just simply this. If it's a for sale by owner, but a realtor has it, I know how it works because it doesn't make sense to me, though. Why is it a for sale by owner and then the realtor has it? So how does that work? You have to go through the realtor and not the owner.
Does the realtor own the property?
No.
What do you mean?
It's a for sale by owner. I saw a piece of property said for sale by owner. When I called the number, it was a realtor. And if I had any, I didn't call or text because we're texting. If I had any information, text them back and they would text the owner.
I'm not familiar with that or that situation.
Yeah.
I wonder if they
have
have a
one.
realtor friend and they just said, hey, can you take the calls for me? Why they wouldn't list it with them, I don't know. I've heard of realtors saying, hey, my friends or whatever, I'll list the property for you for free, that kind of stuff. So I'm not too sure, but that doesn't sound right. It sounds a little unorthodox. I'm not too sure exactly what they have set up. I would ask them.
And
why is this
then,
thing? Yeah.
okay. And then in Georgia, and the person that I talked to lives here in California. And she's telling me that she would get someone in that area to, if I had any more questions about that property. So it's Redfin, the realtor's Redfin agent.
Sometimes if you call it like off of Zillow or Redfin, there's realtors that advertise on those sites. So when you call the number that's on the website, you're not getting the seller's phone number. You're getting somebody who pays for advertising on those websites. That's probably why the realtor answered, because they're buying the buyer lead.
Yeah, because they're asking me, they're texting me if I had any questions, I need to go through them, so.
That's what it is.
I didn't
Yeah.
understand that. I said, but you're, I said, it's a FIBO. Why are you involved in it?
Yeah,
And
they're working the
they
buyers
didn't
that go to the
respond.
site.
Okay.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I've experienced it before on those public sites like that. Yeah, you'll message to get more information about this property. You fill out the little form, and then the lead goes to an agent because they can try to sell you anything. Because, like I said, they're paying for that space.
Is it really a FISBO though?
It probably is, right? If it's listed that way, because if not, then it would show the listing agent's information. What I would do is I'd probably skip trace that address and just get the owner's number yourself and just talk to them directly.
I did that.
Get the owner's information. It'll be under contact information on the bottom. Like you have to scroll down to the very, very bottom, and it might say like contact. You might have not scrolled down to the bottom, and the list agent little thing popped up. So you hit that, and that's where you got the agent request. But you have to go all the way to the bottom in some cases to see the owner's information.
Okay, I'll try it again. Thank you.
Appreciate everybody coming on the call today. We do these calls every Monday and Thursday. There's about 27 people on the call right now. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, we're here to answer these calls. We got 15 more minutes left. You guys have a question, feel free to bring it up. You got a question, Bob? Go ahead.
Yeah, who had the property near Atlanta?
It was me, Danielle.
What county is it in?
Hold on 1 second. Let me go grab my book.
Bob, are you in Atlanta?
I've got a lot of properties around there. I got a lot of buyers in that area, and I can probably put my eyeballs on it. I'm working with Junior Lee.
Okay.
You're in the Facebook group?
I am. Yes.
All right.
Don't you see my beautiful face all over the pages when I'm there?
And Bob, I'm also in the Facebook group as well.
All right, super. So I'm clicking on members.
I'm under Danielle Davis.
All right. Yeah, I'd be happy to take a look at that and compare it against what I have for sale and just kind of see where you're at on that. I'm getting familiar with what properties are going for in that area, and I've got some buyers in that area.
Perfect. The one that's just outside Atlanta, that's Stockbridge, Georgia.
The city?
And then, Stockbridge, Georgia.
What county?
Let me look that up real quick.
Stockbridge is Henry County.
And then the other one is Milledgeville. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Milledgeville, yeah. And that's, from what I understand, that's a college town area.
I've only got one in Henry County to compare it to that's 9 acres, and they're at make offer. They don't have a price listed on it. What was the other one?
Milledgeville.
Milledgeville. All right. I guess I would need the addresses so I can look them up on the map and see where they're, what their proximity is to town and you say they're infill lots?
Yeah, they're infill wooded lots. The one in Stockbridge is like 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta. And then Milledgeville, it looks like I put down, it's like an hour and a half southeast of Atlanta.
Well, what's your email?
It's Danielle.Davis76 @gmail. Now I'm getting ready to walk out the door.
Okay.
But I am definitely gonna send you those addresses because I just got to get moving. I've been sitting on this a little too long. I think it's just nerves.
Yeah. So the way to pull your comps on the property, on the land, is to see what the houses are going for, and typically 20%, about 20% is what you're going to see. So if you're building $400,000 houses, then if you spend $80,000 on the lot, that's just kind of a going rate. You know, that's the middle of the road. That's a median place to start. But yeah, super. I got it's Danielle.Davis76@gmail.
Correct.
All right, cool. And I'm Buy Dirt for You. Buy Dirt, number 4, letter U @gmail.
Awesome.
And,
thank you.
Yeah, let's connect on that and we'll see if I can be of any assistance.
I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm hopping out of here, you guys. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you coming out, Danielle. Appreciate that, Bob, too. Anybody have any questions? Have any assistance?
Yeah, why don't you tell us about the boot camp?
The boot camp. Yeah, we're doing that. This was the end of the month. San Antonio, week long. We had Loretta come out, John Pham, Abdul. I think he's here. He's here twice. Abdul. But we had a great time. We're doing a lot of hands-on training. Just do some real estate stuff. So we guided them through how to text use platform. A lot of stuff we learned through experience, me and Anthony, as far as different types of exit strategies and acquisition strategies. We had a couple people get contracts while we were there. So we're just really trying to help people get into momentum quicker through the boot camp.
And then Rose got one immediately after. Yeah, she got a cool lot north of Canyon Lake that I'm helping her dispo right now too.
Yep. So that is thehiveislive.com/bootcamp for those interested in it.
I'm interested.
All right, Bob. Oh, and it comes with a year subscription of the software. There's a lot of stuff. We had a good time.
Yep, we had a good time, Bob. We had a great time. It was definitely a great learning experience for me on two forms, not just the real estate part about it, but
same thing.
I kind of learned how to work my own laptop, because I do everything from my iPhone. And so the guys were helping me with my laptop too. But it was really great just to know that I could sit there and get in contact with sellers, give them a message. And I actually used the phone. I talked to people because I didn't want to be nervous, and I wanted the guys to hear what I was saying. And did I need to change anything when I was talking to the sellers, or was I okay? And I was fine. You know, it was like easy peasy for me, that part, because I like to talk, right? And so one of the sellers that I talked to, since I've been home, told me, gosh, I wish everyone was nice and kind like you. I said, okay, well, thank you very much. She said, wish I had a property that I could offer you. I mean, it was just really, really nice. So I'm going to do that nurturing mother, glam mother, not grandmother, glam, GLAM. You guys see my picture, right? I'm going to do the glam mother thing. So if anybody was looking, my car, if anybody has seen me post, my truck now has, I buy houses. Then I have my number listed there. So you guys look at that. And then the one in the back says, does anyone need any assistance with their home? Because I know people are losing their homes, and that's who I am. I don't want them to lose them. And Anthony and Daniel has taught me so many questions to ask them, if they're losing their home, what can I do to help you? How can I help you? Just don't take it from them. Give them, maybe owner finance or, things that that Anthony actually talked about earlier. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So I'm getting calls on that now, and it's great. So you guys take a look at my, it's on the Facebook page. My truck lit up with my signs on it.
Yeah, that truck looks really good and the signs are huge. So I think going back to the basics, if you're struggling for leads, make sure that you're using all channels like that. So yeah, truck looks amazing. And then you brought up a good point, is that just because somebody's in a bad situation doesn't mean that you have to swoop in and take property, right? We're doing this because we want to make profit, you know, but if there's a way for you, if you come in and you're thinking about it of terms of like, how can I help? That's it. That's the mindset. How can I help here? Sometimes it's not about you getting the property. You know, sometimes you just do a good deed, right? And that adds up too. That energy adds up as well. And I've walked away from a lot of properties that, you know, I probably could have grabbed.
Right.
I'm like, you know, they honestly don't really need me on this one. You know, there's a way for them to do this without me. And I think that what that allows you to do is it allows you to get better at this business, right? Because very rarely are you going to get a seller on the phone that could use some help, and then you're just going to send it right over the fence, right, on your very first shot. So offering to help every single chance you get, you know, you're working with people day in and day out, troubleshooting, making phone calls, helping them figure stuff out. You're getting better because you're working so many different deals at one time. You know, and even if you aren't going to buy it, you got to get used to being a solution provider, right? And sometimes the solution you provide is not you buying the property. Sometimes it's helping them make connections or put other stuff together. But again, it positions you for success because you're doing the right thing. You know, and sometimes those people that I didn't end up getting the property, I just kind of walked them through it and helped them out. They'll send me referrals and say, hey, you know, they gave me your number. They said you were the person I need to talk to. And so now you already have credibility, you know, built up based on somebody else that you didn't even do a deal with. So always leave people in a better position than you found them. I mean, that can only lead to good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we got about 5 minutes left. Does anybody have anything they want to cover on the way out the door? Questions, concerns, comments, complaints? If you have complaints, I don't want to hear them. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, we appreciate you being on here. We have another call Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. I don't know if we have a guest speaker then or not, but if you pay attention to both groups, if you're a member of if you're using the CRM, you'll be in the Inner Circle group. If you are not, then you're in the CRM group. But we usually post when we're going to have speakers and that stuff. So keep an eye on the pages. That's where we try to give you some updates. We try to have these calls regularly so that you can get some hands-on training and experience and nobody's left in the dark. So if you're struggling, make sure you reach out to one of us, Daniel, myself, somebody else in the group who's doing well. And let's get you into momentum because you're not alone.
The show is sponsored by The List Guys. Do you need more leads in your local or virtual market? 1 in 10 small businesses don't invest in any kind of marketing. The List Guys have over 35 plus list types to choose from, and you can mix and match any list or criteria. We also use the Skip Trace list and provide up to 7 numbers and email addresses. Every list you purchase will be scrubbed against previous purchases. The List Guys are here to save you time. Contact the List Guys today at www.onelistguys.com. That's www.1listguys.com.
Thank you for being here, everybody. We appreciate your time, and we will see you soon.